you always find yourself dissatisfied with your current state of affairs? Like your job is just not enough, or your relationship, or you just feel like you're not living your best life now? Well, today I'm going to share with you some very important lessons about the grass is greener syndrome. I'm going to tell you what causes it, and I'm going to tell you exactly what is causing the dissatisfaction that you're constantly feeling, and also how to combat it. I've been doing a bit of research on the phenomena of the grass is greener syndrome, and there's quite a lot of stuff written about it, and it's a syndrome that affects people of our generation, mainly between the ages of 13 and 30. Now, I'm wondering why, because we're in an era that has given us all of these options, and we've got a lot of opportunities, and we're in a state where we're able to do more and choose what it is that we want to do with our lives. We can choose the right partner for you. Nobody's making decisions for us. The world is our oyster. So why is it that we are suffering from the grass is greener syndrome? Now, the grass is greener syndrome is basically a condition that makes you feel like you're just not doing enough, or the job that you're having is not what you should be having, and you should be on the lookout for a better opportunity, and also basically making us dissatisfied with our lifestyles, leaving you constantly in discontent. So why are we dissatisfied with our lives? Number one, social media. Social media is a great platform for a wide variety of things. It's good for marketing, it's good for sharing information, for keeping in touch with friends that are in faraway places, for sharing videos such as this, and just learning a lot of stuff. But the big problem with social media is that it gives us a platform for us to compare our lives and ourselves with other people. Social media, especially Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, gives us an insight into the private lives of other people. They are turning up, they're living their best lives now, they're traveling, they've got couple goals, and they're making money, and it becomes a yardstick against which we measure our personal success, because we're exposed to how great they're doing, and they are more or less in our age range. So we also ask ourselves questions like, why am I not doing the most, or why am I also not traveling, or why am I not just living my best life now? Dissatisfaction can also be caused by expectations, whether it's expectations that we have of ourselves, or expectations that have been set for us by society, or especially parents. There's a lot of things that are expected of you at your age to have achieved. You're supposed to have at least your first house. You're supposed to be living on your own. You're supposed to have a job. You're supposed to be that. You're supposed to be this. So much so that all of these expectations, we internalize them, and then we're not content, or we're not satisfied unless we have ticked off that list of all of these expectations. And this causes that grass is greener syndrome, because we look at other people, or we look at other things, and sort of just think that if I was not in the situation that I am now, or if I was in the other situation, then maybe life would be a little better. Number three, unlimited options and choices. We live in a world where the world is literally our oyster. We can choose to be anything, choose to do anything, live wherever we want, travel to wherever we want to travel to. So much so that when we do finally make one decision, the other options don't disappear, and they're still confronting us. And there's room for thinking things like, what if I had chosen to study in Cape Town instead of Windhoek? What if I had decided to work for another company instead of the one that I'm currently working for? What if I had chosen to marry my ex instead of the person that I chose to marry? So all of these options and alternatives, it gives you room to be dissatisfied with the choice that you do finally make. Number four, ad agencies and advertising companies are doing us a disservice in this regard. We're constantly bombarded with digital marketing, brand activation, social media influencers, billboards, magazines that are telling us that there is more out there. You can look like this and not the way you look right now. You can get the new iPhone 8. You can get a different kind of car from the one that you currently have. And all of these advertisements give us an insight into other stuff that we could possibly have that would make our grass just a little greener. Number five, time pressure. The world is moving at an increasingly fast pace that we feel restless about what it is that we have done so far in our lives. Yesterday we were only 21 and now we're turning 30. So we feel like we're running out of time and there isn't enough time to do all the things that we want to do. So we just feel dissatisfied with what we have already acquired and all the experiences that we've had, because now we feel like I'm 28, in 2 years time I'm going to be 30, and that pressure just leads to a lot of dissatisfaction with what you're currently having. The effects of suffering from the grass is greener syndrome is severe depression, a great fear of commitment, finding it hard or an inability to enjoy stability and security, and restlessness because you're constantly contemplating a life that you don't have, and you have eyes for a life that you could possibly have, which is inspired by fear and fantasy. If you feel like you may be suffering from the grass is greener syndrome, of course, like I always say, you may speak to a life coach. But other solutions that you can look into is, number one, you may decide to leave social media forever so that you're not confronted with other people's lives. Or you can just take a break from social media every now and then and go back when you feel like you're ready to be confronted with how other people are living their best lives now. Number two, focus on what you have and count your blessings. Don't look around. Don't think about what could be or what might be or what if you had done this instead of that. Just focus on what you have and try to enjoy your life as it is. All the other things can come with their time, but that's not where your focus should be. Number three, develop a strong sense of self-identity and live a purpose-driven life so that you cannot get distracted by what the world has to offer you, what the advertisers have to offer you, and so that you don't look too much to how other people are living their lives, because you're so self-assured and you have such a strong sense of identity that you're just not shaken. Number four, practice mindfulness. Happiness is a state of mind. It cannot be attached to physical things or places. Happiness is literally all inside. And if you just practice mindfulness, you will find that you've got a lot of things to be grateful for. So focus on that and just be content with what it is that you have, and find joy in the simple things that you have in your life. That's it for me this week. I'm Swama the Life Coach, and I hope you found this video very helpful. And if you did, share it with your friends. Bye-bye.